come to nothing. To result in failure or have no positive outcome. Synonym for come to nothing. Fail, fizzle out, amount to naught, end in disappointment, be fruitless, lead nowhere. Despite their elaborate plans, the project came to nothing due to lack of funding. His efforts to reconcile with his friend came to nothing as the misunderstandings remained unresolved. Despite their efforts, the project came to nothing. Count for nothing. To have no significance or importance. Synonym for count for nothing. Mean nothing, have no value, be insignificant, be worthless, carry no weight, be inconsequential. Despite his promises, his words counted for nothing as his actions spoke louder. His promises seemed to count for nothing in the end. In the face of overwhelming evidence, his excuses counted for nothing in the eyes of the jury. Make nothing of. To fail to interpret or understand something. Synonym for make nothing of. Disregard, ignore, brush off, underestimate, minimize, overlook. Despite studying it for hours, he could make nothing of the ancient manuscript. I could make nothing of the cryptic message he left. She made nothing of his strange behavior, assuming it was just stress. Amount to nothing. To be of no consequence or significance. Synonym for amount to nothing. Be inconsequential, be trivial, be meaningless, be insignificant, be of no account, be of no consequence. All his grand plans seemed to amount to nothing in the end. Despite his grand plans, his efforts amounted to nothing in the end. The accusations against him amounted to nothing when the evidence was presented. Lead to nothing. To result in no tangible outcome or resolution. Synonym for lead to nothing. Result in failure, yield no results, end in disappointment, come to naught, bear no fruit, be futile. Their discussions led to nothing as neither party was willing to compromise. The investigation led to nothing, leaving the case unsolved. The investigation seemed to lead to nothing conclusive. Add up to nothing. To have no cumulative effect or significance. Synonym for add up to nothing. Be worthless, be insignificant, be inconsequential, count for little, be of no avail, be futile. Despite small victories, it all seemed to add up to nothing. The various attempts to fix the problem added up to nothing as it persisted. His excuses and explanations added up to nothing in the eyes of his disappointed parents. Get nothing out of. To gain no benefit or useful information from a situation. Synonym for get nothing out of. Gain nothing from, extract nothing from, receive nothing from, derive nothing from, obtain nothing from, acquire nothing from. Despite his best efforts to negotiate with the stubborn vendor, he ultimately got nothing out of the meeting, leaving empty-handed and frustrated. I tried talking to him, but I got nothing out of the conversation. Despite attending the lecture, she got nothing out of it because she couldn't hear the speaker. Make nothing of it. To consider something as unimportant or insignificant. Synonym for make nothing of it. Disregard it, ignore it, brush it off, minimize it, underestimate it, overlook it. Despite his efforts to explain, she made nothing of it and walked away. When asked about the mistake, she tried to make nothing of it. He tried to apologize, but she made nothing of it, insisting that no harm was done. Come to nothing. To fail to materialize or achieve the expected result. Synonym for come to nothing. Fizzle out, amount to naught, fall through, go to waste, be for naught, turn out fruitless. Despite their best efforts, the project came to nothing due to unforeseen complications. Their ambitious plans came to nothing when they failed to secure funding. Despite careful planning, the event came to nothing. Think nothing of. To consider something as not difficult or of no consequence. Synonym for think nothing of. Disregard, dismiss, underestimate, minimize, overlook, ignore. He thought nothing of lending a helping hand to those in need. She thinks nothing of taking on challenging tasks. She thought nothing of staying up late to finish her work. Know nothing about. To be uninformed or unaware of something. Synonym for know nothing about. Be ignorant of, be uninformed about, be unaware of, have no knowledge of, be clueless about, be unfamiliar with. I know nothing about the changes in the schedule. I'm sorry, I know nothing about that particular topic. She pretended to know nothing about the surprise party being planned for her. Be nothing compared to. To be significantly less important or impressive than something else. Synonym for be nothing compared to. Pale in comparison to, be dwarfed by, be overshadowed by, be inferior to, be subordinate to, be beneath. The new movie was nothing compared to the classic film it tried to emulate. The previous record was nothing compared to the new achievement. His previous accomplishments were nothing compared to what he achieved later in life. Come to nothing. To fail to reach a desired or anticipated outcome. Synonym for come to nothing. End in failure, lead to naught, result in disappointment, yield no results, go unrewarded, turn out unsuccessfully. The negotiations seemed to come to nothing as both parties disagreed. Despite their meticulous planning, their efforts to secure funding for the project came to nothing when investors backed out at the last minute. After months of negotiations, the deal between the two companies came to nothing due to disagreements over pricing. Go for nothing. To be wasted or not bring any return. Synonym for go for nothing. Be wasted, be futile, be in vain, be fruitless, yield no return, come to naught. Her sacrifices went for nothing when she didn't receive the recognition she deserved. All his efforts seemed to go for nothing when the project was canceled. His efforts seemed to go for nothing as the project was canceled. Stand for nothing. To lack principles or strong beliefs. Synonym for stand for nothing. Lack principles, have no beliefs, be devoid of values, be morally bankrupt, have no convictions, be spineless. He was criticized for standing for nothing and changing his principles based on convenience. Their political party was accused of standing for nothing but gaining power. A leader who stands for nothing may struggle to gain followers. Nothing to write home about. To be unremarkable or not particularly impressive. Synonym for nothing to write home about. Unremarkable, ordinary, mediocre, run-of-the-mill, average, mundane. The restaurant was okay, but the food was nothing to write home about. His performance in the game was nothing to write home about, barely making any impact. The movie was okay, but it was nothing to write home about. Stop at nothing. To be willing to do anything, regardless of the consequences. Synonym for stop at nothing. Spare no effort. Be relentless. Be determined. Be ruthless. Be relentless. Be unwavering. He was determined to win the competition and would stop at nothing to achieve his goal. He was determined to succeed and would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. The villain in the movie would stop at nothing to obtain the treasure. Come from nothing. To originate or arise without significant resources or background. Synonym for come from nothing. Arise from nothing, emerge from nothing, spring from nothing, develop from nothing, originate from nothing, stem from nothing. The remarkable innovation in this technology sector often comes from nothing more than a brilliant idea and determination. His success story is inspiring because he came from nothing, growing up in poverty, but eventually building a thriving business empire. Despite humble beginnings, he came from nothing to build a successful career. See nothing wrong with. To believe that something is acceptable or proper. Synonym for see nothing wrong with. Find nothing objectionable in, perceive nothing inappropriate about, believe nothing unacceptable in, identify nothing improper in, detect nothing improper in, notice nothing unsuitable in. She sees nothing wrong with expressing her opinions openly. Despite criticism from others, she sees nothing wrong with her decision to pursue a career in the arts instead of medicine. He sees nothing wrong with working long hours, believing it's necessary for success in his field. Mean nothing to. To have no emotional or significant impact on someone. Synonym for mean nothing to. Hold no significance for, have no impact on, be irrelevant to, carry no weight with, be immaterial to, be inconsequential to. The criticism from strangers meant nothing to her because she was confident in her abilities and choices. His achievements in sports might mean nothing to his family, who prioritize academic success above all else. The criticism meant nothing to him as he was confident in his work. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.